Yo, 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 what's up, yo? Y'all already know. Big Lou tapping back in with what it do with Big Lou, NFCR2, baby, baby. Ooh, yeah, booyaka. Baby, baby. Anyways, peoples, I'm on a big time putting out videos this Monday, lunchtime-ish now. I got behind 4 or 5 days without dropping any videos, so I'm trying to catch up. But this one here this one here is about Ariel Hawani and Paddy the baddie, right? Some of these people, man, I don't understand. They come out talking shit. They say that Paddy made the comment that Ariel Hawani's making he's clicking off fighters, so basically clickbait, I guess, right? You know, and he's making money and this and that. Well, that's what I don't understand, man. To me, that sounds like being a hater. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you can take something that you like, something that you enjoy, and you can turn it into capitalism meaning money, right? You can generate revenue off it, right? That's what it's all about. That's what the American dream is all about. Now I get it. Hawani is from Canada. I'm not sure if he still lives in Canada or if he's a resident here in the United States now. Nonetheless, it's still about coming up, right? Establishing something for you, starting with you, or it might have started with your grandfather or your great grandfather, and every generation, the person in charge makes more of it, right? Sometimes it might have been a butcher shop, right? Originally from the great grandfather or grandfather. And then 3 generations into the family, or even 2 generations, or maybe 1 generation, whatever it might have been, eventually they obtained this, then obtained that. Next generation did this, did that. And before you know it, now you own a chain of them all through the Eastern Seaboard or through the whole United States, right? Whatever it might be. Uh, McDonald's started with one restaurant, and now you have 4 or 5 in different cities, depending where you're at, anywhere from 3 locations in one little city or town to, 20, 25 in a place like LA, or probably more than that. You know what I mean? So I don't get that. I don't understand that. So, Errol Hawani likes MMA. He likes soccer. He likes boxing, right? He'll have guys on from these sports and he'll talk to them. And, you know, obviously Ariel Hawani, from starting off as a journalist, sports journalist, uh, he's made a name for himself. He's built the platform. His podcast is huge. So when fighters come on there, they're coming on there not just to talk to Ariel Hawani. They're coming on there to put their name out there. A lot of times these podcasts and stuff, or when interviews are done on YouTube channels or podcasts, like I just mentioned, they'll ask whoever they're speaking to plug in their social media accounts, right? At the end. Well, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? A YouTube channel such as mine is small. Why do you think someone like me will try to reach out to somebody like a Chad Marks or a Jay Williams, or even smaller channels that got maybe 20,000, 30,000 subs? Because it gets your name out there, right? Get your name out there. Not everybody knows everybody in the MMA world, right? I'm starting to pick back up where I left off, and I'm starting to learn about a lot more fighters, right? So, like I said, these guys reach out and accept Ariel Hawani's request, or the invitation to come on the show, because it benefits them as well. You might only have 1,000 or 2,000 followers on Instagram, but then you go on Ariel Hawani's show, and then now you got triple that. You know what I mean? In a matter of a day or two. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But Paddy to come on there saying that, oh, he just clickbait fighters and it's a crock of shit. It helps. It just sounds foolish. It's a form of haterism. Just like, like, dude, shut the fuck up. No, he's never fought. No, yeah, he's a geeky looking, square looking dude, but he's got compassion for the sport. He has compassion for fighters when they go through something with it, such as an injury, or what happened with Glover Teixeira, where the guy who he was going to fight for the championship falls out with an injury, and then they offer him to fight one of the other guys, and he says, "Well, give me a little bit of time, let me train for this guy a couple of weeks," and unfortunately UFC couldn't do that because you know, the UFC 282 card was already in place. They already had the location, the venue, everything was set up, so they wouldn't be able to do that. But, you know, Ariel Helwani's speaking to Glover Teixeira and he's filling him out. You know, I mean, as far as like, did anybody from UFC reach out? Did anybody say this? Did anybody say that? Did anybody do this? Did anybody do that? You know, and he's got a genuine, sympathy, empathy for these fighters. You know what I'm saying? And to say that he's, he's just using guys' names and that's a crock of shit, man. You know what I mean? Paddy's, a straight hater. That's what it sounded like. So I'm gonna give a little background if people don't know what I'm talking about. So Ariel Helwani has butted heads with UFC President Dana White on many occasions, right? And Dana White had some shit to say too about him. Also had a falling out with Paddy Pimblett in November of 2021. His spat with Pimblett apparently began after it was reported that the Liverpudlian's manager demanded a fee for the fighter to appear in an interview, which the journalism refused. When Dana White and Paddy got together for a podcast on the Liverpool's native YouTube channel, they absolutely trashed the veteran journalist, right? Pimblett alluded to journalists who earned off of fighters before taking a shot at Ariel Helwani. This is what he said. Ariel Helwani in particular, like he loves earning money off fighters. Every decent job he's had, he's been sacked from. And now he's just a biased content creator. He hates on you, Dana White. He hates on the UFC. He even hates on me now. This is what Paddy said. And it's proper annoys me because he uses fighters for clicks. He uses fighters to make money and then has the audacity to talk about the UFC and yourself, saying that you don't pay the fighters enough. Now, on that point, criticism, only should go so far. The UFC obviously is not as big as the NBA. It's not as big as NHL or, baseball or, MLB or NFL. That goes without saying. So their money is not like that. But even boxing, they don't make as much money as boxing does, right? So it should only go a certain degree, and I'm pretty sure that Dana White, since he's took over the UFC, he's made big improvements on paying his fighters. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what it'll be 5 years, 10 years from now? You know what I mean? Pimblett then directly addressed Ariel and told him to pay fighters to appear on interviews, as the journalist purportedly made tons of money off UFC fighters. The baddie finished off his rant by calling Helwani a rodent, to which White hooted and clapped before chiming in. He's a massive sack of fucking shit, is what he is. He's the biggest fucking piece of shit of all time, and I couldn't have said it better. That was kind of, I don't really dig that. I don't like that shit talking stuff, right? Even though I know Dana White probably whip his ass, right? Whatever. I don't think you should be talking shit about a person like that. If you're not gonna let him get with you, you know what I'm saying? Now, thing is this, like I mentioned, yeah, they can ask to be paid. I mean, but how much money you think Ariel Helwani has to pay people to come on there? He has a show every day. You think he's gonna be able to pay somebody every day $5,000, $10,000 every day to come on his show? Just say if it's a show. Just say if it's a show every other week. Every other day. We'll say 3 shows or 4 shows a week. Does he got $5,000, $10,000 to pay those guys? That's you're talking, 5, 10, 15 to $30,000 a week to pay guys. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, by guys coming on his podcast on his platform, it gives them enough. It gives them enough for them to make money. It gets their name out there hugely. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Again, Paddy just sounds like a big old hater to me because these fighters don't have to come on there, but they come on there. Again, why do you think they come on there? They come on there because it gets their name out there. It helps promote them. You know what I mean? Like some of these guys like Teixeira, they have their own gym they run. You know what I mean? They run a gym. If they don't run a gym, they're part of a team from a gym that can bring in more business, all that stuff, So this is how it kept going. Not one to back down. Helwani took his podcast, the MMA Hour, to respond to both Pimblett and Dana White. Helwani referred to Dana White as an entity, as opposed to a person, and said White's verbal triad against him had no effect on him since he's heard the same old abuse from the UFC president one too many times. A closer look at Ariel Helwani's response to Paddy Pimblett. Ariel said that he didn't feel bad about all the mean things Dana and Pimblett said about him. He has endured years of verbal abuse at the hands of the UFC president and has developed a thick skin for any name calling. He also said that Dana White is mad that he couldn't get Helwani banned or deplatformed from the MMA landscape. That's a trip. Name calling aside, Helwani said that what bothers him the most is when people perpetrate lies. That's definitely what I don't like. I don't like lies about me. Like when that motherfucking piece of shit try to say, oh, I gave his information about him and his family. You're a lying, cocksucking son of a piece of you know what. And George Lopez says, you know what, sucker, you want to lie? You keep lying, but you're más puto. That's what that means. Más puto. You know what I'm saying? I don't dig lies. You don't like me because you don't like something I do, or you don't like my get down, you don't like my swag, my style. That's one thing. But don't put motherfucking lies out there. That's what I can't stand. And that's what makes you a sucker mark. You know what I'm saying? And anybody that calls somebody a grown man, a bitch, and a punk when they don't even show their fucking face, in my case, this case, you know, they're doing it on fucking social media. Let that man get with your program, homie. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be an OG. You shouldn't even be saying shit like that, first of all. But you're not. You're faking the funk. You know what I'm saying? So Helwani responded to Pimblett, calling him a liar, claiming that he didn't make a single dime off of UFC fighters and MMA as he's bound by a contractual agreement with regards to covering MMA content. The journalist further stated that the only time he made money apart from his job was when he printed merchandise of himself and wrote editorials for Substack, the proceeds of which he gave to cancer charities. Helwani also played a clip of Paddy in which the Liverpool star is heard asking him for an interview. Yeah, I heard all that too. So you're asking for the interview, and then later you have your manager ask for money and then talk shit about it. You know what I'm saying? It's all, you know, that him talking shit like that, and then him the way he went out there and fought Saturday night against I can't even think of dude's name right now. The way he fought though was like, it just shows, like, you know what I mean? It just shows the hater that he is. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion about it. Let's see. I want to get that guy's name right. And I think his name's Chris. Not Chris. I'm way off. Jared Gordon. The way he fought against Jared Gordon, 2 days after running his mouth about Ariel Helwani, you know, this ain't not even a fighter. You can tell that you know, Ariel Helwani is a soft dude, right? He's not a fighter. He's a father. He works. He's a journalist, sports journalist, MMA journalist, boxing. He does a few different things. You know what I mean? And to talk shit like that after it's already been recorded that you asked for an interview, that's hella weak. Sean O'Malley stepped in and he gave his 2 cents about what he thought about it. And I'm right with Sean O'Malley. It's all about the dollar, man. And you do what you can to support your family. And if you found your niche in the MMA community and you're able to start a podcast and a platform, obviously you started it from your career as a journalist, sports journalist in the MMA world, and now you took it to a podcast, you know what I'm saying, where fighters want to come on your podcast because it's one of the biggest ones. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And to sit there and talk shit about it, oh, he's clicking off fighters, lad, you know what I mean, Dana? And to have audacity to hate on you, hate on the UFC, and now hate on me. No, actually, you're hating on him, homie. You're hating on Ariel Helwani because he's able to make some money. And he probably makes more money than you. And that's the problem. You're hating on him because he don't fight and he's making more money off you than you do. That's what the problem is. You know, first of all, fight better than you did Saturday and you'll be making more money, big money. Start coming to the U.S. and fighting. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with fighting in Europe, but obviously people want to get here to make the big bucks. You know what I'm saying? But what it boils down to, fight better than you fought Saturday night, and you'll get places. And don't hate on Ariel Helwani because he makes money, man, off what he does. He's a content creator, like you called him. So he's creating content by bringing on UFC fighters, by bringing on boxers, and interviewing them, getting their point of view on stories that pertain to them personally, and then he allows them to plug in their social medias at the end. Why do you think that is? Why do you think they accept to come on Ariel Helwani's platform? Because he's a tough guy? Because he can fight? No, because he's got a big platform and it gives people notoriety. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, everybody would be telling them, "Hey, pay me, pay me, pay me." But no, they're content and satisfied with just them getting on his show and getting their name out there. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But Paddy Pimblett, you're a big old hater, man. You're a hater, and you're hating on his success. And Dana White, I don't really want to comment too much on that because I'm not really sure when he started disliking Ariel Helwani. I've heard guys say things about Ariel Helwani, and he asks some goofy questions sometimes, but it's just that's him. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna really comment on Dana White too much. I don't really, know the extent and history of all that. So I'm gonna keep that. I just don't believe he should be calling him a piece of shit and all that. There's other ways to speak, you know what I mean, than to go that route. You know what I mean? So with that being said, Big Lou's gonna tap on out. Paddy the Batty, man, you need to stop being a hater, bro. And I'm out.